Comme ça, je commence. En principe, je commence. Hello, everybody. Happy to join you today for this meeting. We enjoy it very much, myself and my colleagues, my two colleagues. My colleagues and myself are going to talk today about how our country, Algeria, tried since several decades to manage a new museum, a new museal to perspectives, answering at the same time to the modern needs of new museology and also to the new vision, historical vision, which has been developed in Algeria since independence in 1962. As you may know, most of our museal institutions were inherited from the colonial period, and we had to change completely. In fact, our first concern was to change completely the very peculiar vision of the ancient curators into a vision which more correspond to the new weightings of the new Algerian public, and also for the new Algerian scientists and, well, everybody, in fact. Effectively, previous curators had focus museal presentations and visit tour on their own ideological trends. There were, but also we have another one very important concern was to adapt, to finish with the old-fashioned institutions to bring new contemporary needs in life. Among all problems we have to be solved and to face at the beginning, that is at the and after the independence, was the very important problem of human resources. Very few professional, museal professional existed in Algeria after independence. And it was very important to bring training for almost everybody, education and training in that specialty for almost everybody. That is why all across the country, archeological sections, which included museological sections also, were introduced in the university, and they were created. Also, they created, the Ministry of Culture created also, since years ago, a conservation school to train the new curators, to prepare them for the new jobs. At the same time, a large-scale program of scholarships, which allowed training abroad, was put in place for many specialties, and especially for specialty like restoration, conservations, and so on. Very specific, trainings. The second main concern was to bring a new reading about our national history during the visit of the museum for the general public. It was very important. So the first things we did was to organize many excavations programs inside the country, all across the country, the north, the southern part, and especially for the prehistorical period and the Islamic period, because these two periods were not really presented during the colonial, during the French period. So, for instance, I will give you some example. Discoveries which has been done in the site of Ain Bushri. Ain Bushrin is a site situated in the eastern part of the country, allowed the scientists to bring a new chronology of about 2,400,000 years old. And that was very important because completely different from the ancient results. So you see, with the excavations, the chronology of our historical repairs were completely changed. Also, an important work of the same kind has been done to rehabilitate the antique Numid native kingdoms and the Islamic medieval kingdoms, because these two periods too were completely occulted in the ancient museums, presentations. So it was necessary to renew completely the Algerian history reading and to enrich the visit tour inside museums. So these two, you see the excavations and the reading, the rehabilitating of historical period were very important as concerned. At the same time, two important museological operations were put in place by a Ministry of Culture. Of course, not at the same time, but anyway, through the years. The first one concerning the rehabilitation of most museum buildings, which has been suffered of degradation along the years, and creation in the same way of many new institutions. And these new institutions answered to necessities because specificities that did not exist before. For instance, I can speak about the Contemporary Art Museum, which were created in 2007 and 2015 in Algiers in Oran. Illumination and calligraphies, which are very important art for us, which has been created also museums. Manuscript conservation centers. You know that we have an important fount of manuscript in Algeria, Islamic manuscript. So it was necessary to conserve them in best way. And so the creation of that center was also an important operation. It is, the center is situated in the southern part of the country because of climate. Another essential large-scale also program, which was put in place by our ministry and all the specialists, of course, together in a common consultation, concern inventory of national heritage inside museums, because you know inventory has been was not really done before. These last years, we had very few documents which were remaining from the ancient period, and so it was necessary for the curators to study the collection and reorganize the inventory in Algeria, in most of our museums. I think that operation was peculiarly interesting, and for the main museums, the greatest one, the major one inside the country and in Algeria. And this work has provided our institution with new inventory sheets and numeric and hand register, which was very important, and official documents. That is so important. As you know, as curators, we all have the same concerns, I think. Among the others, essential action which has been developed by the curator family and our ministry and so on, we have to mention also very important exhibitions which have been organized inside the country to spread the new vision of the historical results, also the scientific results, and so on, to attract the audience, I mean, and the public and the young people especially, but also abroad. As an example, we can remind the important exhibition which has been organized in Germany in 1979 in the Archaeological Museum of Bonn about the Numid Antique Kingdom. It was a very large exhibition which allowed us to spread the, new informations about that kingdoms and the real Algerian history during antiquity. This exhibition were important also for two other aspects, because there were opportunities at the same time to restore a large number of objects, of course, which participated in the exhibitions. We could, at that occasion, restored mosaics and, silver plating, even also canvases sometimes. It was very interesting for us to have exchange in that way with the foreign museums. And also at the same time, the exhibition was also an opportunity to make publications. And publication, as you know, is something very important for scientific achievements, something very important for us. This is what stay after an exhibition. It is a publication, so it is essential also for the exchange of point of view between the foreigner scientists and the Algerian scientists. So publication, many publications has been edited at this occasion, especially in 2003, when Algeria organized with France the Year of Algeria in several towns, in different towns in France. And it was really a large opportunity to organize many exhibitions, especially about art for the Museum of Fine Art. And it was something very essential. Beside all these fields of work, of exploration, museal exploration, and archaeological exploration, the museographic question has been central, very essential all these years, and especially for the curators who work inside the museums, because we have many things to do inside our museum to give them a new look, to relook them. First of all, we have to renew the exhibition structures, presentation structures. We have to renew the lighting, the problem of lighting. You know, as far as the exhibition structures are concerned, I wanted to tell you that we have a very different climate in Algeria, like in your countries. So, for instance, in the northern part of the country, we have very humid climate. And so we have to deal with that type of conditions for the museum. So it was a preoccupation. It was a very daily concern and financial concern at the same time. So we have also to fit out our stockage areas. Some of our museums did not have at all any stockage areas. So we had to organize new stockage areas. And for the museum who dispose of stockage areas, it was necessary to modernize them and to give them a new, to heighten the level of conservation in that stockage areas. So you know that we have also a necessary, as we have now 3 national languages, it was also necessary to bring to propose to the public informations in different languages. So we have to change also signalizations. You know, all that type of intervention in the museum are very costful, as you know. And so it was really a large and central concern. All that types of interventions, interior intervention inside the museum were very essential, central, and daily. I mean, we had a lot of problems every day. And well, beside all that, we decided also to open pedagogic structures in our museums because we thought it very important, especially for the young generations who are not very used to come to visit museums. So it was a way, so opening of workshops inside the museum was a way to welcome them and to use them, to give them the habit to come to the museum and to visit collections. So it was also something very important. And for my part, and I think it's the same thing for my colleagues in the other museums, we spend a lot of financial means for that type of activities. It is something very essential for Algeria, for our countries, you know, because we have all types of collections, especially in art, and it was necessary to explain and to bring more information about the collections and what is a museum and what is the sense of a museum for the new generation. So we work in a collaboration with the School of Art, especially for the Museum of Fine Arts. And my colleague, I think, work also in collaboration of other people who help them to put in place that type of workshop. It was necessary to have collaboration with other institutions, educational institutions, and so on. I have to say that my, je ne sais pas combien il me reste de temps. Hein? Oui. I have to say that most of our financial means in Algeria are, I say most, but in fact, all our financial means are governmental means. Our subventions mainly are provided by our Ministry of Culture, or for the excavations and what I say educational and so on, by Ministry of Scientific Research. So it is we have very few private helps. In fact, it is not something very useful in our country. But anyway, sometimes the museum got private helps by our society, oil societies, and so on. So this is, well, the main field of work which has been developed since independence to enrich and to enhance and to, better also the conditions of the museums all during the last decades. Of course, we had more or less, sometimes it is more or less periods of transformations. But anyway, we can say that during the last 20 years, we gained a lot of achievements, which are positive achievements for the museums, and especially for the new museums, because now, you know, we have in almost every of our inside country town a museum. We have also many museums in the main town, Algiers city, and the other important cities of the countries. And we have also curators, generations of different generation of curators, which were trained in the university, Algerian University, mostly in the Algerian University for the first graduation. And I think we have inventory of all our collection. I think this is something positive too. And we have renewing our buildings with special means, financial means, which has been given to us. And I think, and also the visit trade, the visit tour has been better in most of our institutions. Of course, it is not, we did not still reach a very high level, a museographical level or museological level. But anyway, we think that it is an essential achievement which has been made by Algerian museologists and museologist curator with the help of our ministry, of course, during all these last decades. So, well, that is what we wanted to tell you. I have to precise, yes, my colleague, Mr. Harichane, you know, who participated in the excavation of Ain Bouchrit, because he's a prehistoric specialist, told me that the excavation of this site has been organized in collaboration with the Indiana University. So, of course, we have different collaboration with the world, all over the world, and we have also collaboration with your country, with the United States. So this one was an excavation organized in collaboration of the Indiana University. So that's what we wanted to tell you today. I hope that we are waiting for your questions. C'est 25 minutes. Okay. Well, I don't know if my colleagues want to add something, especially Mr. Harichane. I think maybe he would like to add something during the last five minutes. I don't know. We can. Yes, I have to tell you something else. Yes, I forgot to tell you. In fact, that we also have organized, you know, since independence, an important board, you know, for acquisitions. I wanted to tell you, because to enrich collections, you know that acquisition is something very important. You know, I think that in your country, in Western countries, most acquisitions are made by the friend of the museum. We did have a friends association in the past, but nowadays it's not really active. So we have a board, an official board for acquisition, a committee for acquisition, constituted by several ministries also, and the finance and different state departments, which are consulting department for the acquisition and the enlargement of. Is there any questions? We do not read. We do not see any question. We are waiting.
Hi, Dalila. Well, there is one question from the attendees about the process for requesting a museum loan.
Okay. Yes, we are waiting the question. I do not read anything till now. It did not appear.
I will share them. I can see them if you're not seeing them. There is a question about what is the process for requesting a museum loan from Algeria? From Algeria.
For the loan. No. The loan. Oh yes, we do. We do have a politic of loans. Yes, we do have. We also, yes, we practice loans for the foreigners, to the foreigners' museums, of course. But generally, it it is integrated. It's integrated in exhibition programs. But we send loans. Yes, we send loans. Yes, we send in many countries. In fact, we participate in exhibition in Italy, for instance, in a retrospective exhibition about Impressionists. We participated in Italy. I think that my colleague also participated in exhibition, archeological exhibition abroad. Yes, we are used to practice loans with our foreign countries. The process is you have to write to our Ministry of Culture, and then after or to us, it is the same thing. You also have to write to us, and so we will answer you, and we send you a loan form, as usual, as it is practice, the usual practice.
Thank you so much, Dalia. We're at the top of the hour. We do have a few more questions, but unfortunately we have to wrap up and start our next session. But thank you so much, Dalia, Antri, and Harichane. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.